5 years ago, I thought that giving alcohol for life, or even for a day, was impossible. But a few years on, I wouldn't go back there for an hour, the way it was, for all the money in the world, because I'm now in active recovery and it feels incredible. Before it was an active addiction. And I just can't imagine going back to the state I was in. I was in a dreadful mess, physically, mentally, emotionally. The whole lot was a mess, financially even. And I couldn't function. And this thing about functional alcoholic, I don't quite believe it. But if you're thinking of quitting, or if you're struggling to stay sober, or even if you're just sober, curious about what life is like, then maybe have a listen to this, because there is nothing like a sober existence, even if you just drink moderately, really, because it catches up with you in time. Because I started out like most people, sort of mid-teens, drink a little bit, late teens drink a bit more, and so it goes on. And when you get a little bit older, you have more pressures, maybe you drink more because of more social life. There's all sorts of reasons why people drink. Some people just drink because there's a pub in every corner, isn't it? It's so socially acceptable. But really, your life will change massively. I mean, when I had to stop, when I finally realised I had to stop, was when I was in hospital. Going back to 2019 now, October 2019. And I sort of had serious liver issues, and I was in hospital for weeks. And then I was transferred to another specialist, gastro and liver hospital, where a few procedures done. I had seizures, I had all sorts of things going on. Low sodium level, I had ascites fluid, and I was in pain all the time. This fluid used to build up my stomach, to drain off, litres and litres of fluid from it was building up. Because when you have liver issues for alcohol, your liver shrinks and doesn't function properly, and you get all this protein build-up. I think it's protein. It's worth googling ascites fluid. So I knew I had to stop then. And then one pivotal moment, my daughter came into an emergency hospital and said, "Dad, please don't die. I need you to walk me down the aisle." And that broke my heart. So that was a major factor. I knew I had to stop, because I knew that if I didn't stop, and I was also told by a consultant, if I ever drank again after my spell in hospital, then I would be dead within 6 months, guaranteed. When you hear those words, it does wake you up somewhat. But my drinking before that had been out of control for many years. I think probably from the age of mid-30s, I was drinking too much, I had withdrawal symptoms, that sort of thing. The shakes, nauseous, not eating properly. Huge anxiety was my problem, massive anxiety. And it took over my life, it controlled my life. It controlled every aspect of my life, and it controls every aspect of other people's lives who drink too much. Because you lose your focus, you lose your energy, you lose your zest for life. You lose everything with alcohol, and eventually it will take your life if you're not on the ball with it, and you've got to get off it. I did relapse many times, but lots of people do, because you think you can control, and then suddenly you think you're back in the game, but you're not really. That one drink will take you down the road with having several drinks. And there's many quotes about alcohol, one drink is too much and 1,000 is never enough, that sort of thing. It's poison, isn't it? Stop putting poison in your body. It's one of these things where you think, you're not having a heart operation, just stop drinking. It's not that easy, but you can do it. If you can do it, I can do it, So I knew I had to stop, and I knew it was ruining my life, and I said it was out of control. And I realised that many years before that, but it wasn't until the axe had fallen, basically, that I had to stop. So what kept me sober? The main thing is a change of mindset. You have to stop romanticising about alcohol and believing that you're missing out. FOMO was a massive thing for me, fear of missing out. Because when you stop drinking, you're not actually losing anything. And people say, I'm missing out about the pub. What you'll gain when you're sober far outweighs what you're losing, or what you think you're going to lose. Because when you romanticise about alcohol, you think about the good old days, as we call it, when you're younger. Even they weren't that good. If you think back in time, you always pick out the best bits of life, don't you? Even when you were younger, you probably had bad times with drinking. You probably missed the odd day at work. You weren't as sharp as other people, all this sort of thing. Even just a regular drinker. I'm not talking about alcoholic here. But the drinking will increase if you've got personality where you're getting into a habit. I think it's a habit which turns into addiction. obviously nobody sets out with this goal of becoming an alcoholic. So stop romanticizing about it and think about what you're going to feel like if you have that next drink. You're going to feel rough, you're going to feel nauseous, you're going to feel ill again, aren't you? And what you gain from it is massive, massive, massive advantages to your life. You sleep better, you look better, you eat better. Your relationships will improve. Your finances will improve. You'll have your future again. Instead of thinking, oh, there's no tomorrow, there is a tomorrow. And there is a Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and so on. And start to build your future again. Because you have no life, you've got to start living. You can't turn the clock back, but you can wind it up again, is one of the quotes I use. And you've got to add life to your years, not just years to your life. So when I started feeling a bit better, when I had these little procedures done, I didn't have a transplant or anything like that, but I had a few little things done to bring my sodium level up and such like. I'm not on any medication at all now, which is incredible considering how ill I was in October 2019, when I was told I had 50-50 chance of survival. So let's start with the basics. Exercise, that's the main one. I couldn't walk very well. I've been in a wheelchair for a couple of years. I started to walk 10 meters, then 12 meters. It sounds crazy now. I started to walk a little bit more. And when I got a little bit better, July 2021, after my father died, I thought I'm going to get stronger. I started to walk a little bit more. Didn't use the wheelchair. Tried not to use the stair lift that I had in my parents' house. Had to stay there. Couldn't live in my own flat at the time. Started to get up and down the stairs a bit. It took me ages, but I did it. I felt a little bit stronger. You've got to get yourself the right sort of food. You've got to keep off any processed food. Keep away from sugar. Keep away from salt, especially salt, because it causes inflammation. Get away from salt. Try and eat as many fruit and veg as you can. I try and eat 10 a day now. Seems extreme now, but it's not when you put a salad together. Eat salads, eat vegetables. Try and have a plant-based diet mainly. Obviously have the odd treat. I had a Chinese the other day. That was all right. But don't have them every day. Don't eat things like pizzas, high cheese. Don't eat processed soup. If you're going to make a soup, make it yourself. You're going to get a soup. Don't get tin soup. So loads of sugar and loads of salt. Keep off the white bread. Just common sense, really, isn't it? Moderation. But try and be a little bit tighter on the food if you can be. Another big problem that people have, and I did initially when I stopped years and years ago and then relapsed, was boredom. You get bored, you're in the same routine of going to see the same people in the same pub. You've got to cut that off completely, take the leg off it, as it were. Because if you're going to do the same thing, you're going to fall into the same habit. You've got to change where you're going, what you're doing. Again, back to mindset. And very mindful of other people encouraging you to drink, because a lot of people don't like to see you sober, you know. So many people in life don't like you being successful in any shape or form. So what I did was I went back to an old hobby that I hadn't done for 40, 50 years, which was fishing. Sounds a bit crazy. I didn't catch very much, but he used to take me down the river. And I used to meet people, other fishermen, people walking by, they call anything, just that sort of thing. It was amazing just to have that feeling of being, I'm free of it. You know, you become free of the alcohol's ties, and every day will get better. So concentrate on your hobbies. So you've got to get rid of the boredom, you've got to have the mindset change, you've got to get fit again. Eventually you can join a gym. There's cheap gyms around, £15, £20 a month. Just do something, get some strength training, just walking. Initially just start low and build it up over time, all right? Cravings, I was quite lucky I didn't have many cravings because I knew that if I had a drink, it was going to kill me. That warning from the doctor really knocked me back. So if I have anything, I still have a bit of sugar now. I still have a bit of chocolate at night, you know, instead of a drink. I do try alcohol-free drinks. That hasn't caused me any problems for 5 years. I was actually off for 8 years at one point, and I still drank alcohol-free. I didn't have any compulsion to have an alcoholic drink. So alcohol-free worked for me, might not for you. But you've got to fight the social pressure. Just have one. You can't have one. If you're an alcoholic, you cannot have one. As soon as you pick up that first drink, it could be your last drink, and it could be the last hospital visit. It takes a long time for your liver to recover if you've been hammering it all the time. And you've got to, again, focus on this. You're not missing out. You're gaining every time. Every day sober, you've gained something. All right? So that's how you do it. Mindset change, exercise, food. And when you break it down, as I said, it's common sense, isn't it? And you've got to get yourself back in the game. Because I'm 63 soon. I don't feel it. I don't think I look it. Because I keep fit. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I've got a lovely partner. I've got my life back. And as I said, if somebody told me that in 2019, then I would not have believed it myself. Even the consultant says, if somebody told me you get back to this level of health, 5 years ago, then I wouldn't have believed it myself. So there you go. If I can do it, you can do it, and I'll do it with you. All right? Keep pushing, keep focused, keep yourself positive. That's the main thing. Be positive about your life, be positive about your future. If you benefit from the videos, then please subscribe and share them. I've got an ebook out as well. I'll put the link in the description. And if you have any comments or you want me to cover any subjects in particular, then please let me know, and I'll speak to you all soon.